This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Geeb Productions. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the Triple G podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is host Shibby Gaming and special guest Shibby120. We record this podcast live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you can find a podcast. You can also watch this video podcast over on youtube.com/DripGeeb, and you become a member of this podcast to get extra video podcast content every single month. Drip, how you doing? But before you answer, we have a special guest.
We do. We do.
How are you doing
What's
today,
up?
How you doing, brother?
Me? I'm doing well.
Very
Talking to
good.
me?
Here.
Yeah,
talking to you.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
You're the man. You're
Switch
the guest.
Unboxing.
How are you?
Shibby
How you
120.
doing?
YouTube.com/Switch Unboxing.
Yeah, we're
Twitch.tv
going to unbox something in the after show. I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm
Yes,
so
we are.
excited to see what you unbox. Can't wait. I'm excited for that. So, other than the unboxing stuff, what else have you been doing, man? Streaming. I know that. What are you streaming?
As you know, streaming a little bit of, I'm playing a lot of Wildflowers, cozy little game, farming game with a little bit of a witchy twist, and then of course Red Dead Redemption on Switch, which is great. I'm having a lot of fun with that. Those are my main games, but then Tears of the Kingdom, still working on that.
Of course. How are you liking Red Dead, dude?
It's good, dude. By the way, yeah, again, Drip, thank you for swinging by, man. Drip was there for
I
a
was
lot
there
of
for,
it.
Yeah, most of it the other night. It does look. It just looks.
It
so
sets the
good.
bar
It's crazy.
high.
Yeah,
and I get it. It's an older game. It makes sense, but still, it didn't have to look this good. And I just really appreciate the clarity. Like my eyes do. Like I don't try to be bougie about the whole greasy smeary games.
Yeah.
But the fact that I can see that bush, that tree over there, and I don't have to strain. It's amazing. I love it.
yeah.
Did someone say Bush?
Yeah, someone did. Someone did. Hold on. Oh my God.
That's just a perfect segue.
A segue for beer of the week.
Gotta get there right away.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll get it out of the way quick because I don't have anything super fun. I have just a regular. Speaking of Bush, I have a regular, just a Bush Light. But I'm actually more excited about my my koozie, my Kyle Larson koozie.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm sorry, Saturday night. I always think it's Friday on our podcast. Saturday night, Daytona, man. Big deal.
Ooh, very cool.
Big deal. Daytona. Very excited about that. So I don't really have anything fun to say about my beer. It's a Busch Light, and it's in a Kyle Larson koozie. So,
Shibby, I know you have something that's cooler than what we have, so I'm just going to show you my Gritty Gang. I've showed it before. The Gritty Gang
that is cool.
koozie on my Bush Peach.
It matches the Bush Peach too.
It does.
Actually, we both have matching. Look at that!
Yeah,
We are just
look
out.
Your favorite
man.
NASCAR person, and I have the second best mascot in all of sports. Gritty Gang, gritty. Shibby, what is your beer of the week this week, man?
My tea of the week is the tea I always drink, Throat Coat. I love it.
I always hear you talking about that.
I don't know if it's scientifically proven, but it's supposed to make your throat more clear for streaming and podcasts and singing and stuff. So, and it's got a little bit of cinnamon, orange peel.
Okay.
Vibe to
Hey,
it.
I used to be big on
nice,
tea.
actually.
I was big on English breakfast. You familiar with English breakfast?
What is that?
Yes, I'm familiar.
It's the tea
yes.
that they apparently they drink in England for breakfast. I mean, I'm sure it's not really the way it works, but it's a dark tea. It's herbal. You put some milk in it, a little sugar, kind of like coffee, but it doesn't taste nothing like coffee. And the amount of sugar I was putting into it tasted like a sweet beverage. It was great. I don't drink much tea anymore. I should though, with the voice, all the voice stuff I do nowadays. I really should get back.
All right,
Probably
Throat
should
Coat.
too, honestly.
Throat Coat. It tastes good and it's supposed to help.
Yeah. In fact, beer is supposed to be bad for your throat and stuff like that. For your lungs.
Dehydrating. Yeah.
I'm
So,
messing up. I got water too. I mean, I have water, so there's that.
For sure, yeah, me too. I got the
You
Yeti
take
over
some
here, of
away, you
course.
put some back in. It's a balance. You just gotta.
Takes away, pass it around. Yeah. Well, cool, guys. We got a big old episode pack for you guys. We're gonna get into the PS Portal. I almost said portable. It's really hard for me not to say portable.
It should have been called the port. Why is it?
It should have been called the PS Portal.
Everything
Portal,
about this thing
the
is
portable.
just stupid. It's just
Too many
dumb.
syllables, dude.
Drip and I are going to
Too many
argue about it.
syllables.
Shibby might just be along for the ride for us to argue. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. No, we'll let you get your
I might
thoughts in on it,
instigate a
too.
little bit. I might instigate.
Yes, please.
No, we fought about this before the podcast. Like, seriously, we're like yelling at each other about it before the podcast because
I called him a
Geeb's
doofus.
arguments.
I called him a nerdy doofus.
Well, because he wants to compare what they're doing to Apple, and I understand that. I get that, but your arguments with it don't make sense to me because whatever. We'll talk about it. Go
We'll have
ahead.
to chat
Go ahead.
decide
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
We'll get into it.
We will get into that. We'll also get into actually Drip is kind of the one who inspired this episode and the history of the. I'm sorry. It's gonna the title of the episode is should give it away here on the thumbnail. We're gonna be talking about the Wii U transition from Wii to Wii U and Wii U to Switch, and then the Switch to whatever's next, the Switch 2 presumably, and basically, can Nintendo mess this up? Will they mess this up? In fact, it's to say it's not possible is a lie. It's very possible.
It's
Nintendo
very possible.
Could
Yeah.
mess this up. There's history to prove that they can. There's also history to prove that they won't mess this up. But we will see. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. We got.
Geeb, you look at my comment section today, my video.
I have not checked your comment section of your video today.
There were some really pissed off people.
I bet.
There's some really mad. I didn't think it was clickbait. I was looking. I was like, someone was like, "This is clickbait." Really mad. 2 or 3 people, and I'm like, I'm talking about exactly what this says, exactly what the title is. It's exactly what I'm talking about in the video.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like the way it was worded, but clickbait's a little strong. It's throwing stones. I don't know. I don't know.
Let's Drip. I guess it's time, Shibby and Drip. It's time let's just get to the PS Portal. Let's get it out of the way. If you haven't
Portal,
heard,
not portable.
The PS Portal was announced. It was announced before, but we got a name for it, and we got the price and the features of it. So it's going to cost about $200. Okay, US dollar dues. And the features is really what people are arguing about. I feel like the price of it is one of the only things that has going for it because I think I assumed it was going to be $300, and we all kind of assumed it was going to be over $200, but it turns out it's $200. And if you're not familiar with the system at all, because I know this is a Nintendo podcast, it's not a PSP and it's not a PS Vita. What it is essentially is a screen. Right? Don't call it a tablet. It's a screen with a DualShock 5 controller cut in half on either side of the screen, and it's lacking a lot of features that people want.
Can we say it's a Wii U gamepad?
You could say that. You could totally say
No.
that. Only it has no features, and the Wii U gamepad has too many.
No, well, okay. Okay, yeah, you can call it a Wii U gamepad. Sure, go ahead.
You can use it. You don't have to be in the household to use it, though, right? Can you use it like at work and stuff?
We're gonna get into
unclear.
that because it's unclear at this point, and that's one of the biggest things that I have a problem with. We can go ahead and talk about that. So they keep wording it, and all the stuff that they put out. You can do that with PS Play or whatever it is, the thing you can do on your phone, where you can basically. You can stream games from your PlayStation, as long as the machine's on Wi-Fi and you are on Wi-Fi. You don't have to be home, but you can play games. It seems like they're kind of dancing around the fact that this thing has to be stuck in your house. It has to be on the network with your PlayStation, which I'm like, how can you let a cell phone do that, but you can't let the $200 piece of hardware you're going to sell that is your thing? You're not going to let that. That's crazy to me. They haven't said it outright yet, but that's kind of, they're dancing around the fact that that's what it's going to be. I think that's wild.
It's a bit wild. I don't feel that strongly about this in general. I feel like the internet is kind of, and Drip, I think you as well, are a bit overreacting to the whole thing with it. I always viewed this thing to be a very proprietary single-purpose device. I think a lot of people wanted and were hoping for at least somewhat of the DNA of the Vita and the PSP to be in this thing, and it's just not that. It's simply not that. The product is very clear what it is. What it is a screen, not a tablet. Don't confuse it. A screen with a DualShock 5 on either side of it, and it's very clear what it's for. It's for if you're in your house, you are, let's say your wife wants to watch TV, your husband, your partner, we'll say, wants to watch TV, but you want to play on your PlayStation, but you don't have that luxury the Switch player does to undock it. So what you do is you get this thing out. You go and you're on the couch playing on your PlayStation Portal, and the wife is watching something nice on the television. And that's what this thing is for. Now, there are a couple of missions of this thing that we really, really need to talk about. The big first thing we need to talk about is the lack of Bluetooth support.
Wait, hold on. One more thing before we get to the Bluetooth about the Wi-Fi thing.
Sure.
I'm not sure if this was actually said either, but PlayStation is working on basically getting their own xCloud, and this thing's not going to be able to do that either. You're not going to be able to play games from the cloud on this either.
Well, that was one of the things we were going to get to, the emissions.
Well, I mean, I figured we were on the Wi-Fi thing. I'm sorry. I thought
okay.
you forgot about that part. But that also, like you said it earlier, which it makes sense because of the way it is, especially if you've got to keep it at home. You're going to be streaming it from wherever it's at to the PlayStation, then from the PlayStation to the portable thing.
Yeah.
But if it had Wi-Fi, if it was like a Wi-Fi thing, and just, I mean, xCloud runs great on my Steam Deck, like great, and I'm literally running it off of a browser. I don't see how this is not possible for them to do, or why they wouldn't want to make that a feature that this thing does. You know what I mean?
Is there any chance that they're being vague about it to see how people react, and then so that way they can announce whether or not it can be used, truly on the go or not, or are they not really thinking that way at all?
I mean, it's possible. It's not like we haven't seen Xbox make an announcement and people go crazy and then pull back on it like the next day. I don't put it past Sony to do something like that. Just float some stuff out there, see how it goes, see what they can get away with, what they can't. I mean, that's an interesting idea. I hope that's what they're doing, because this is insane that you can't even do that. I feel like that is such a simple thing.
For $200. I mean, I'm biased as a Nintendo player, but it's like, I can get a Switch for $200 and take it on the go. Different experience, but
Yeah.
That's actually a really good point, Shibby. That what you just said, the last thing there especially. You can get a Switch Lite for $200.
Yeah.
And it's a dedicated handheld console, not a Wi-Fi device. Now it doesn't have the power that this thing will have, because this thing has the benefit of streaming a very powerful device off of a powerful device
At home.
But when you're on the road, you can't use it essentially. Whereas the Switch Lite, you can play full AAA titles, especially the Nintendo ones, on the go without a Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah, that's
at all.
interesting. That's an
so
interesting.
that's actually a really
piece
good
of information
point.
there.
So that, and that it can't be used on just any old Wi-Fi. If those are going to be two pretty big objections for a $200 price tag, making it essentially a luxury item, which I get. I don't play Switch on the go anywhere else but home. So if I had a PS5, that would be a pretty good accessory for me, but for me, not an extra $200 worth. But to be fair, I usually play Switch in bed, so
right,
I'd kind of be a candidate.
Right. So let's talk about the emissions again. Like I said, Bluetooth is not found on this PlayStation Portal.
It's insane.
Which is kind of crazy. It's a standard at this point of time. It's on devices, MP3 players of the day. Not the earliest ones, but like the second wave of MP3 players started to have Bluetooth back in like the mid-aughts. It's just kind of crazy that Bluetooth is not on this thing. But it's not crazy.
My can koozie has Bluetooth, man. Everything has Bluetooth. That's insane. It's stupid.
But when you hear the reason why it doesn't have it, it makes all the sense in the world, whether you like it or not.
It's infuriating is what it is.
It is very infuriating, but the reason it doesn't have it is because Sony is selling proprietary headphones that use a proprietary network that's probably like 2.4 gigahertz, on their headphones that connects to the portal. And they were trying to sell those headphones. It does have a headphone jack, as far as I can know. I believe it does. So that's a positive thing. It does have a headphone jack. So if you got your old dirty buds, you can stick them on in and play your games that way, which I kind of prefer, to be honest with you. I know people like their Bluetooth, but the Bluetooth has the lag, whereas plugging headphones in, there's zero lag, which is great. But anyway, those of you guys who love Bluetooth out there, for your only source of headphones, I get how your frustration here. And this is where Drip and I were arguing a lot about. We argued about this a ton, because the way I look at it is, it's not that I'm happy that they're doing this. It's just I understand why they're doing it. And they're trying to make an ecosystem of hardware and software for themselves. And this is just, they're making their own ecosystem here. Apple, and this is where I was getting really frustrated with Drip, because you're an iPhone user, Drip. And Apple does this with everything they possibly can. Make hardware and software proprietary.
Not this.
You know they removed the headphone jack for Bluetooth, and that was a problem, right? They did do that.
But I can use any Bluetooth headphones I want. I don't have to go buy a specific set of $200 Bluetooth headphones to have wireless headphones.
This was a time
crazy.
This was a time before the Bluetooth boom that recently happened. This is before the time that everybody had a pair of $20 Bluetooth earbuds. At the time, you may not remember, but at the time when they did this, if you wanted an okay pair of Bluetooth headphones, you're looking at upwards of $100 and more. It's only recently that Bluetooth headphones are cheap.
All right,
as they are.
But you may not remember this because you were not an iPhone user. But when they did that, when they took away the headphone jack, they put in the box for the first few models, they put in an adapter that went into the charging port where you could plug headphones in. So they still gave you an option. They took it away, but they still said, here's a thing so you can still use the headphones you have.
And what if you What if you wanted to charge your phone and listen to music, which
well, then you would have to go buy a little thing that had the two little things, and then you could plug it in.
And what if you lost your adapter?
Well, they did sell those.
What if you broke your
like
adapter because those things would fray?
Yeah, you could buy them again. I actually was using one the other day.
Money. Your answer is money.
Okay. Hey, listen, I am not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. But at least they gave an option. At least there's an option. There's no option here.
And yes, there is. There is for audio. With this device, there is an option.
If you say wired headphones, I'm going to lose my
headphones.
Mind. No,
that is the option.
But they've taken Bluetooth completely away.
Look, I think that I don't think anybody's going to really. I don't think anybody's going to argue with knowing why they did it. But is it a consumer-friendly move?
No.
And the answer is going to be no.
No,
you can't.
It's anti-consumer.
I think there's two very objective pieces. Like, do we know why they did it? Yes. Do I like it, or do I think it's makes sense for the consumer? No.
That's where I'm at. Drip and I are on the same page, Shibby. I think what you're kind of getting at there is we're on the same page. Like we agree with that. The problem I have is that if you have an iPhone in your pocket, but you're not complaining about all the things that iPhone does to restrict you and make you buy extra stuff, but you're going to complain that Sony does it. It's like, that's ridiculous to me. Like Apple does it with every piece of hardware and software that they sell. It's proprietary in some way, and there's not always an option to. Drip and I fought about iMessage and because I brought that up, iMessage.
That's a whole. Okay.
It is a whole.
You can text, but I can still text you. You don't have an iPhone, but my phone doesn't restrict me from only texting iPhones.
And you can still listen to music on this.
If this was a smartphone podcast, I'm pretty sure we would have complained about that, right?
Yeah, maybe? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But I don't know. See, that's the thing. All I'm saying is with the whole iPhone thing, that's what him and I were yelling about early. There's options at least. There's options at least that don't cost $200. Like they're like, okay, if you want to use wired headphones on this thing, go buy this little adapter. It's like $5. Just go grab this thing, plug it in.
You're frustrating me because you're ignoring the option of wired headphones. You're as if it doesn't exist to you. Like that is an option and a viable
because I don't want to use wired
people.
Headphones. The only time I use wired headphones is right here.
Do you understand in gaming, Drip? Do you understand that the people who actually are good at games not only plug in headphones, but they also plug in their controllers. So they got 3 wires, 2 from each ear, and a third one from a controller.
I don't live my life that way, man.
Yeah, but a lot of people do. And that's a viable option. And now, are those people buying a streaming device like this PS Portable, PS Portal?
No,
they're not buying it because it's streaming. They're going to get the lag. But my point is, wired headphones is an option. You can go ahead and pretend it's not an option all you want, but it is an option.
That's a wild life I don't live, Geeb. I don't live that wild life. I'm sorry.
All right.
Bluetooth or nothing. I hate that. I hate it. I do love those headphones, though. Now, my question is this. Here's my question. I don't know the answer to this. Because when they announced those headphones, I was like, those are cool earbuds. I like those. Kind of want to buy them. Now, I'm going to lose my shit. Can you use those earbuds with regular Bluetooth shit? Because if so, oh my God. Okay, so they're not Bluetooth at all.
No, to my knowledge, they use a form of 2.4 wireless, kind of like your mouse when you plug your mouse via USB into your computer. It's similar to that technology.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like these earbuds. Whenever I plug them into the base thing.
Yes.
Whenever I put them in that little system
Bluetooth,
I have,
it's a little gigahertz.
It's, yeah, 2.4. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. But these still have Bluetooth.
I agree. Power Matt Shibby is the middleman between an old married couple.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Mediation.
There was
That's
also
why I came here today.
There was a great comment from earlier too. I want to bring this up from official No Friendo says in the chat. It would be cool if you could use it like the Wii U style, like a controller to do dual screens. So basically,
yes,
it becomes an actual gamepad for your PlayStation. I don't see any reason why they couldn't push a software update. If not, have it on the thing from day one to enhance games. Like, I think that'd be great. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, because it was such a hit with the Wii U. I mean, was it?
But press that button, Drip. Press that button.
Am I getting banned? Oh.
No, you got laugh track. That's a great one.
Yeah, I forgot. I haven't been using it. I got it. Okay, so wait, hold on. Repeat this to me again. Tell me what you're talking about. I missed some of that. I'm sorry.
Nick is saying it would be really cool if this thing, this portal, because portable is too many syllables. It would be cool if the portal could interact with your game, like, you're doing the shurikens and it goes to the TV. Yeah, it would be cool. But I'm thinking, would they need to work on something like that? Because I don't know. Did people care about that with the Wii U? I feel like
I don't even think that. They showed that, and I've been looking at Wii U stuff for days. They showed that in the original trailer, that like Ninja Star. Was that even on the system? What was that in, like Nintendo Land or something?
I think like certain games, if not that one game they demoed probably had it.
Well, I can tell you this: the gun thing that they showed that had the gamepad in it, that never came out. That never came out. That was not a thing.
That trailer that you're referring to from your video, you understand that trailer came out before the system came out, before they knew it was going to flop.
Oh yeah, so if you look at that trailer,
that stuff.
If you look at that trailer, in the trailer, the gamepad still had the flat like the flat thumbsticks. Yeah, like the 3DS. Yeah, it still had those. They changed it like the next year when they showed it again. The Wii U, it had it had like the flat ones, like the 3DS did, like the little, like, I don't know what you call them, but they weren't like actual sticks, which is crazy. I'm glad they.
I mean, that's weird to think about a trailer for a system with features and stuff on it that doesn't happen. But I get it when it's so early, but it's also kind of
so early. God, they messed all that up. They messed that up so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the best segue than ever to kind of get talking about.
This is not scripted, folks. All these segues.
It just happens.
But yeah, I mean, Drip, I'm gonna let you drive on this section. You and Shibby are gonna be kind of taking home the points here tonight. I'll just be along for the ride, because I mean, you guys already talked about it in your chat last night. I wasn't even there, so. But yeah, go ahead, Drip, take it away.
Okay,
you drive.
Basically, I mean, I made a whole video on this today. We're starting from the beginning here. The Wii was super successful. You know, they wanted to build off that success. I mean, we're looking at it again with the Switch. It's scary. It's scary to think what they might do. There's a lot of variables here. There's a lot of things we need to talk about, and we're gonna go back and forth on all this. But a quick history, in case anybody doesn't know, the Wii sold 101 million units, and they sold them to grandmas and nursing homes and everybody else. I mean, not the hardcore gamer. That's not who the Wii was for. It had games, whatever. We had the Waggle. Everybody's playing Wii Sports. When it fell off hard. And that's when they started talking about the Wii U, which was in 2011. They started talking about the Wii U. They announced the Wii U at E3 in 2011. They showed absolutely nothing but the controller. If you go back and watch the trailer, I actually put some of it in my video today. I watched the whole thing last night, and I'm just dying laughing, because the trailer is literally somebody walking up with the controller, doing something with the controller, and then it cuts to just text, and it says, "You can do this with the new controller." and then it shows somebody like using a Wiimote with the gamepad on the ground.
Collectively facepalm.
Yeah, the gamepad's on the ground. They're using a Wiimote still, playing golf, and they're like, "You can do this with the new control." It looked like a new controller for the Wii. That's all it looked like, and for everybody who didn't know, we're like, "Oh, I don't." I had people in my comment section today like, yes, I remember that. I thought it was a controller for like 2 years.
Well, Drip, how does this relate to the Switch 2?
It relates to the Switch 2 in the fact that they completely screwed up something great they had from the Wii to the Wii U. They came back, they did what they needed to do with the Switch. It works. It's scary to think that we could see the same thing happen with the Switch 2.
Yeah,
because though I just looked it up, Switch we're at like almost 130 million units.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's only been over 6 years. The Wii was 100 million, so
101.
So yeah, it is a little scary to think, because and there's different people in charge now, which could be good or bad. But they had to recover from the Wii U and the Switch. Part of the Switch's success, I think, is that they had to pull out all the stops. They had to. It was kind of a blessing in disguise, the Wii U failing, because then the Switch, they gave it everything they got.
Yeah, well, and
but
they
if history
did.
repeats itself.
They did, but they did it on. I don't know. That's the thing about the Switch. Like you're talking about. You're right, because they did. They clearly took their time with this. Like everything was focused on because you can look at the. Go look at the trailer, the very first trailer for the Wii U, and then go look at the first trailer for the Switch. Like, you look at that, you're like, I don't know it's a controller. You look at the trailer it is very, very clear from the very start. Yeah. Like, the guy's sitting there with his dog barking at him, and he pulls the Joy-Cons out. He's playing Breath of the Wild. He puts them in. He leaves. He's at an airport. He's got his little kickstand up. It is very clear. It shows everything. Like, this is a new system. You can put it on a TV. You can take it with you. You can tell that they were very concerned about the marketing when it came to the Switch. They learned a lesson.
I'd like to see that compared more to the Wii trailer and the Wii marketing, because that's how I think of this. Because you've got the Wii blew up, Switch blew up. The Wii, they called it the Wii U. So that's why they're in a weird situation, because what do you do now?
Well, I did actually look at the Wii trailer. You know what it is?
Is it clear too? Is it cut and dry?
Kind of. It's the thing. They had a bunch of old people doing symphonies and stuff with the Wii, with like the Wiimote, and they showed Wii Sports, and then what was the other thing they had? They did show a younger girl playing Mario Galaxy, so she had like the nunchuck. So they did show a lot of the controller, but they didn't really need to show at that point the system. You know what I mean? Everybody knew it was like clearly This is not the GameCube. Obviously, like what is that thing? Like there's no way. I mean, and maybe that's where they lost it. Like maybe they were just like, no, we did that and it worked so well. Like we're just showing the controller again.
Why it worked so well.
Yeah. There's so many different things. I think the marketing for the Switch was so spot on. It was.
Like you just describing that trailer, it's almost getting me all giddy because we knew the NX. I mean, maybe other people knew more than what I did, but I was paying quite a bit of attention. I remember the patents coming out with didn't they think there was going to be screens on a controller or something with some I don't know. There was a few different patents that came out, and I think the Switch though, for me, it caught me off guard. Did we already know it was going to be portable? I don't know. When it came out,
I think right up at the end, I think that's when it was just like, okay, this is a portable, like this is something that's not stuck to the TV. I don't think it was super clear, but I think like a couple days before it may have come out where there was some stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I remember all you're right. The early stuff like the NX.
Where did Reggie went on a talk show? I forgot what it was. Like they just did it right. Like you said,
Jimmy
they really
Fallon.
need to make sure people knew. Jimmy Fallon, yeah.
Here's the funny, if you don't mind. I want to say this because it's funny to me because I wasn't in the Switch world. I wasn't in Nintendo's world at this time. I didn't come into the Nintendo's. It wasn't in my headspace until 2020. But what was funny is that back in 2017, 2016, I was watching Jimmy Fallon like every night, and I remember Reggie came on with Jimmy Fallon. They're playing. I don't think it was Mario Kart. I remember what they were playing. One of the, or maybe it was Breath of the. I think it was Breath of the Wild. They were playing Breath of the Wild, if I'm not mistaken, on Jimmy Fallon, and it was just like.
Miyamoto was there.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, it's just, I never bought it, but I always in the back of my mind thought, wow, that thing's really cool. I'm going to go back to playing my PC games, but that's really cool. And later on in life, or in 2020, when the pandemic and like I was kind of bored with gaming and bored with life, I was like, hey, maybe I'll pick up that Switch. Really, because in the back of my mind, I remember that Jimmy Fallon appearance, or the Switch appearance on Jimmy Fallon. And my brother-in-law had a Switch too, so that helped, and I could see him play a lot. But yeah, no, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was really fun.
No, that is again, yeah, you're right. Like they did the marketing right.
They did.
Back with the Wii U, it was done so bad in 2011 that they had to come back again to E3 in 2012, and they literally said, like, we understand we were not like they said they were going to reintroduce the system, and guess what happened in 2012? Not one motherfucker knew what the damn thing was still. Nobody knew. Nobody knew what this thing was. The people who were watching were like, yeah, I get it. It's a system. Like, us, we're like, yeah, it's new. It's the Wii U. I get it. But if you're not watching E3 and you see like, oh, look, yeah, still just a controller. The problem was Nintendo couldn't explain it. That's the problem. It had so many things to explain, and they were trying to do all this stuff where it was like, well, look at this thing. I said that in the video. Like, why the hell was it a TV remote? Like, come on. Like, it was a TV remote. It had a camera because it was going to do, voice call, or a video call, video chats and stuff.
I wonder if there was conflicting teams.
I don't know.
That's super speculation, but like it's kind of like when I play Skyward Sword. Not to go back on create a debate on this, but my kind of theory, because I remember there's this ship you're in, and there's like spoiler for like a 10-second spoiler, but these tentacles come through the ship, and it's like this epic moment, and then the game pauses, and Fee's like, I think there's been some damage on the ship, and it may start flooding. Okay, I wonder if there's a Fee team, and then there's the game team and the tutorial tips team, and I wonder if they're different and they go to. So I almost wonder if Wii U, the team wasn't really aligned on what this is, and yada yada yada.
They just started throwing stuff in. They're like, we can get it to do that. We'll just do it cheaper. Like it had a camera, crappy camera, had a microphone, crappy microphone, had a screen, not multi-touch, and we're talking about
impressive.
Yeah, well, we're talking about like 2012, so it was like. We had screens, like that wasn't a crazy thing. We had cameras that were way better than this. So they're just throwing all this half-ass stuff in there to have all these features and then try to explain it to everybody like, oh no, it can do this and it can do this. Can't do it very well, but it can do it. And we're gonna tell you about all these things, and people were just overwhelmed. They're just like, I don't care. What games do you have? Like what are we gonna be playing on this thing?
You can wiggle your finger. You can waggle the Wiimote and touch the screen of these random games we're not going to talk about. And it's like,
or ever come out with.
They shifted Pikmin. That was like the big thing. Pikmin. Everyone was really happy because Pikmin was going to be on it. I know that. And then what was the other one? It was Mario. Super Mario. Whatever. Super Mario Bros. U. Not Deluxe. Just the regular one. That was it. And nobody liked it. Because it didn't. Yeah, but it had one new power up.
A handful of games, right? I mean, basically just a handful of games.
Nintendo. I think Nintendo themselves at launch had. I want to say 4. I think they had 4. No, it had a shitload of games it launched with. It had a ton.
Well, Nintendo Land, right?
Yeah, that was the package game. If you bought the 32 gigabyte, there was an 8 gigabyte, which was the white one, and then the black one was 32 gigabytes. And it came with Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land was I actually bought that, which is weird. They charged $60 for that if you didn't get it with the game. It was a hell of a deal if you got it with the system. It was a hell of a deal.
That's why I think that's why they're in a tough spot right now, because here's and are we ready to talk about this?
Sure.
So because I don't know what y'all's take on this, but but for me it's like, And that's why I commented on your video today, because you said the Switch 2 will fail, and you're thinking you're thinking maybe we shouldn't call it the Switch 2, and I think you're gonna have a rough go either way you go, because number one, there's pressure to do something new, right? Because like with the Switch, it was this brand new thing. Mm-hmm. If you do the same thing, you do a Switch 2, and I've done polls on my channel, and you've done polls on yours, and I don't know and then Geeb, I'm sure we've all been around this community for a while. I know for a fact, at least from what I've heard, is a lot of people don't care about a more powerful Switch because I mean, look at the top selling games. Mario Kart 8, that's a Wii U game.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing. I mean, Animal Crossing,
it doesn't need any power.
It has its stutters, but people really don't care. And so you've got this problem if you do a Switch 2. Yes, you've got a big base of consumers that are going to be like, well, why? I've got Stardew Valley, which is a timeless classic, Minecraft, all these things, we just don't really need a power. But then you've got people like us that are like, dude, yeah, I would like to play the Outer Worlds on Switch and not have it be a greasy smudge.
Yeah.
You have to be careful. I think what you're getting at, Shibby, is basically they have to be very careful because they don't want to piss off the people who like the Animal Crossings and the Mario Kart 8s that don't need the power, and those people are not requiring more power in the next system. But they really have to please the other part of their fan base who's like, I love these games too, but I also want to play these third-party games that I just simply can't play, or if I do play them, they run like garbage. So it's a fine line they have to run with this new branding and marketing for the system, where they have to please the people who like the first party stuff, but also make sure the people who like the third party stuff know that third party games are back on Nintendo stuff.
Well, the thing is, I don't think they really have to. Like, they don't have to appease the console gaming crowd that like Red Dead Redemption and stuff. Like, it's a bonus, but it's clear that they are fine selling Wii U games on the Switch, They
basically resold the entire first-party library, almost all of them.
and so it's almost like they have to innovate. But then if they do innovate, it's like the Wii U thing. They're risking abandoning what works, and so I can't blame them for keeping the Switch alive as long as they can, because I don't know. I know it's way more in depth. Well, I mean, it's not always way more in depth than we think. I mean, it could be simple, but it's almost like, dude, if I was Nintendo, I'm a person, I'm going to be like, I don't know, I might sell the Switch as long as I can.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of wanted to. I want to touch on something here that Alex said in the chat. PlayStation don't struggle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right. That is very true. When has Nintendo ever called anything this 2?
Yes.
They've never done it. I don't know why. I don't know why they would start that now. Now it is possible, and we'll get into that. Yeah. There's new people.
I kind of want to get into
talk about that.
I don't want to talk about the people, but I do want to talk about why they would get it, why they would go Switch 2. I think that I do want to talk about that now.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't. Yeah, because it does work, and they know they moved off of it last time and confused people.
Well, because it wasn't even
terrible.
2. It wasn't 2. It was you. And
it was brand new. Yeah, it was a completely different thing.
That was an avalanche of mistakes. But here's why they should or they could and should go with Switch 2. Number one, I've said this in the past in the podcast. They should go with Switch 2 for this number one reason alone. I mean, you could argue the Wii was great branding also, but they clearly marketing and branding, but they marketed the Wii to old people. Clearly, the Switch doesn't have that.
Well, it was a family thing.
It was a family thing.
Wii,
but the Switch
that's
is
the whole thing.
In my opinion, at least in the last 20, 30 years, the Switch is the only thing Nintendo's put out that is not marketed to old people or not marketed to any particular audience and branded in a way that is worked like really well. Like I'm not saying that the old stuff didn't work well. Like I know.
Well, the Wii was literally branded for everybody. That's what was the name. It was right. Wii.
But the Switch, I think this. I don't know. I guess I'm trying to just talk about like sexy factor, right? Like PlayStation. Xbox. Like they got that certain sexy factor that just really works, and like they can it works. So everybody knows what an Xbox or PlayStation is. They may not, even your mom and dad know, they may not play it, but they know it exists. They know there's an Xbox and there's a PlayStation, right? Unless you're my mom, and my mom called it Game Box X growing up, and she was referring to a PlayStation. And she was referring to a PlayStation.
A Game Box X? That's sick. I want to get one of those.
But like the Switch, right?
The
Switch has that sexy factor. Like the red branding, it works. The logo with the snap with the Joy-Cons in those trailers works. Like if they move off of Switch, I think they're losing out on like a franchise. We're not just talking about selling a console. We're talking about now a franchise.
See,
and maybe and hold on, Drip. Maybe
go ahead.
Maybe they thought with the Wii they had a franchise, which is why they went with the Wii U.
Yeah.
But like we said, there was an avalanche of mistakes. Okay, and they're not. If they are smart, they will not make those avalanche of mistakes again, and they will try once again to go with this franchise method of you have PlayStation, you have Xbox, and you have not Nintendo, you have Switch. And forever, there will be the Switch console next to PlayStation, Xbox, and it's going to be a hybrid console. And maybe they change it when it's no longer hybrid, but I just think it works in general, and I think they would be silly to try to move off of that branding,
right?
Because
that's
of how
what
successful
I want.
it's been.
I want a more powerful Switch sequel. But again, if they do that, here's the other thing too. They've got so many Switches in people's hands right now. They can sell games, a lot of games, because people have the platform to play it. If you have this new system and it doesn't have this big gimmick that appeals to a wider audience, because that's what they're doing. That's why they don't have the PlayStation Xbox factor. They're not trying to come out with a more affordable version of a gaming computer. They're trying to be a whole new thing, and that's why Switch got me so excited to begin with. It's not a gaming system; it's a new phenomenon, and that's how they hit
exactly
it with the Wii.
What it is.
That's how they hit it with the Switch. So if they do a Switch 2, they're not going to have that boom.
No,
but maybe they don't need it. But then they have to make everything backwards compatible at that point.
But they can still do that. I think. Okay, here's where I'm at on this. And as I told Geeb today, I've been up to my eyeballs in every bit of history, what happened from the Wii to the Wii U over the past couple of days. I have dove deep on this. I think at this point, the best thing for them to do at this point, don't call it a Switch. Let it be a hybrid thing, completely redesigned. Let it be its own thing. Let it do the switchy stuff. That can just be the thing. Like Nintendo has always done this where they've like, okay, we got a D-pad and 2 buttons. Okay, now we got the Super Nintendo. We got a D-pad, now we got 4 buttons and we got shoulder buttons. We can still have they've gone on and on. Okay, now we got a stick. Okay, now we got 2 sticks. Okay, they've kept innovating as they've gone. Well, then they kind of went back and they did a remote control. My point is this. They added motion control. Motion control stayed, right? They add these things. This hybrid nature can just stay as a Nintendo thing. And they can still move off of the Switch name, still have the hybrid, but it's a new thing. It can be backwards compatible. The Wii was backwards compatible with GameCube, right?
Why?
It can still be backwards compatible.
It was at launch, it was.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. That's my whole point, actually, because if it's just a Switch that's more powerful, again, you and I are going to buy it, but Joe Blow down the street who's got his launch Switch, who doesn't give a shit, is playing Animal Crossing, just fine. He's like, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
If they
I don't really need that.
Brand new, they have to really be.
It's got to have a new thing.
They got to really hit it out of the park.
It's got to be good. It's got to be good.
And I don't know how they can. I mean, unless they look at the trends, and I don't know what the trend is. I don't know if there is a trend, because portable was it. That was the trend that they went to.
But
and
they
also,
made it.
Can I just say
they made it though. That's the thing.
Well,
they're the ones who did it. The hybrid. The hybrid.
They brought it to gaming, but smartphones, tablets.
Right.
I think they jumped on that trend. And not only that, but they knew the Wii U was like, was their gaming systems were at that point.
Yeah.
But their handhelds have always done well. So how smart was that to just combine handheld and gaming system? To me, that makes sense.
Yeah.
At this juncture, I don't see what makes sense. So I'm lost. If I work at Nintendo, all I can think of is Switch 2. But those people already have a Steam Deck. The people that would want to Switch 2 already have a Steam Deck.
Exactly. So I'm thinking just take the whole It's got to be a Switch. It's got to be a more powerful Switch thing out of your mind. Let's keep that hybrid thing. We're taking that out. And then they can just do whatever they want. The minds at Nintendo can just make something
Foldable.
New. Just what? Yeah. I mean, who knows? I don't know. It would be. Yeah, they probably won't do that. But I'm saying like a new way to switch, a new way to play, like Geeb's idea, where it goes off the TV and you can have a fourth way, and it does more stuff. It's not a Switch. It's, what do they call it? What's the thing? The Focus, right? Or no? What was it?
Focus, Nintendo Focus.
The Nintendo Focus.
Yeah, what was that?
I missed. Not the Ford Focus, the Nintendo Focus.
I saw the headline, but I didn't see anything about it.
It's basically like a leaked. I think it's fake. It's a leaked logo and like some.
Most of the stuff is fake.
Yeah, it didn't look like it. It looked like it could have. I could have made that pretty easily. It didn't look great. I don't know. All I'm saying is you can pull the best things from it, keep it like they have with a lot of things. Motion control. Like they took that, they've just kept going with it because it is cool. I mean, it's the kind of their thing. Now their new thing is the hybrid system. They can take that and move it on to the next thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Switch 2.
Let's evolve the conversation a little bit. Let's talk about, because Nintendo actually spoke about this recently.
Yes.
They spoke about how they're not looking to get into specific gimmicks anymore. I mean, I'm not sure exactly the quote here. There's multiple quotes, but essentially what Nintendo said is that they're still investing on new ways to innovate gaming, but they're not going to, that's basically what they said was they're not going to make another Wii U mistake or another Wii necessarily.
No, we'll see.
It was only a gimmick. The whole system was a big gimmick to begin with. They're not really looking to that anymore. What do you guys think about that? Because that kind of pertains to what we're talking about. Like do you because if they go with Switch, that they're definitely not going with a new gimmick. And if they go Focus, that going with Focus goes against what they just said. Because Nintendo Focus would be
cool word.
It would be a new gimmick. There'd be a main gimmick to the console, hence the word Focus. That doesn't make any sense. So there has to be So what do you guys think about that in their comments recently?
I do want to say something. I want to add to that too, because I did mention this in my video today. They've said things like this in the past. I think it was 2019, and I don't remember what part of I don't remember what part of the year it was, but it was an investors meeting. It was some wording that came out of an investors meeting where they were talking about how moving forward, they were going to start doing different things. They were going to start using newer technologies and looking into, into innovating in different ways instead of kind of going back and grabbing, the IR sensor and make it, I said that today. I mean, it's an IR sensor. That's what made the Wii. That's what sold them 100 million units is an IR sensor. That's all that was.
Well, the Switch isn't revolutionary technology at all either.
Yeah, it's a Tegra X1 from 2 years before it was even made. I mean, it
works smarter, not harder.
Yeah, but I mean, they're saying, I take that as them saying, yes, that's what we've done, but we're going to start moving a little more towards, I mean, and another reason they did it is because it's a family-friendly thing. They sold the Wii for $250. $250. I mean,
which is $300 these days, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, still
equivalent.
But I mean, everything else was more expensive then. All the other systems weren't. Nothing else was $250.
Right.
I mean, that's another reason you couldn't find them because everybody wanted it. It was cheap. Your grandma could play too. Everybody's in, and they did it with an IR sensor.
I think the way that I believe Nintendo Everything. I think that was the website. One of the websites, I believe, that translated it, what they had said recently. And I think the way they worded it was they made it sound like the way Nintendo was saying it is, and it's kind of scary or not scary, but the way they phrased it was, we are researching new technologies for different ways to play that are not going to be we're not going to innovate just for novelty. We're going to innovate for new gameplay experiences. So that could mean to me that's a good sign. It's almost like it's shade. It's almost like they're reassuring people and saying, "Hey, look, I know you're kind of worried about us coming out with something brand new. If we do that, it's going to be in your best interest. It's not going to be just for the heck of it."
Yeah,
it's
just
almost
a
like they're
stupid
saying
gimmick.
that.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, why wouldn't you say that? You would have said the same thing about the Wii U. You would have come out and said that too. And like, guys, we're doing it for your experience.
Yeah, you're right. But let's move on to that part. Because you're right, they would have. But when we say they, we're not even talking about the same people anymore.
Right.
We're talking about completely different people who
That scares me too.
Who are yeah, because okay, so we had give me some names because I don't remember names.
You posted it on the Twitter.
Yeah,
group,
I put them in there. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Iwata was 2002 to 2015 was the president of Nintendo. So basically, most of the development, I would say a good chunk of the development of the Switch, and then he passed away, and then how do you say that? Kimishima
Sure.
was the president from 2015 to 2018. But he was actually the president of Nintendo of America before that, before Reggie, which is interesting.
We note too. I think a lot of people who have been in these conversations for a while probably understand. But if you're new to all this, news, keep in mind too. Reggie, although he's a big face of the marketing, doesn't have much to say as far as decisions go. Right?
Yeah. Just so Nintendo of America does not make the decisions. Reggie was the guy here that told us the stuff. And now it's Doug Bowser. He's the guy here who tells us the stuff. So, actual Nintendo. And then we have Furukawa now. And he's been there since 2018. So, under his leadership, we have not released a console. He wasn't there for 2017 to even see how, he was there. This guy worked there. I'm not saying he wasn't there. Right. He was there. But he wasn't in control of what was happening. So we really don't know how this is going to go, even from that standpoint. And nobody really talks about that a lot. But I think that is like one of the most interesting parts of all this.
It scares me a little bit. And what also scares me is the quote that I was talking about where they said that we are currently researching new technologies. Currently researching. The rumor is this is coming out in a year. Yeah. So, but then again, what do people always talk about whenever Reggie said there is going to be no 3DS and they came out.
Yeah, there's no new 3DS. It was literally it was the next day. Yeah.
And it also makes you wonder, are they talking about the system after this one? Surely not. Now it's probably too early for that.
Well,
but
it's not though. It's not, because Nintendo, they've gone on record saying, actually, learn this in my Wii U deep dive. When they announced that they were working on the Wii U, they didn't say the Wii U, but when they were talking about that, they actually said at that point, we start working on the next thing as soon as the thing before launches. When that is launched, our teams are developing the next thing. That's when they start. So, this thing, if it's coming out next year, let's think timelines here. This thing's gonna start being manufactured soon. It's basically done at this point, right? If it's coming out next year, they got to start if. But manufacturing is going to have to start happening.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year, but relatively soon. Yeah, relatively soon. Even if they're going to announce, let's say they announce it in the summer and it comes out, October, whatever. Who knows? But they're going to have to start manufacturing, and they've already come out and said too, that was at their last investors meeting. Actually, they said they are not going to let scalpers be a problem. When this thing launches, they're going to have enough to meet demand. So
maybe not. They've already not manufactured this thing, at least, maybe should I say they haven't started yet? Maybe, but maybe it's more of, it's not about the manufacturing of it. It's about, do they
the design?
Are they ready to manufacture it whenever they decide to press the button and say go manufacture? They have to. That has to be done. The idea of the thing, at the very least, the idea and parts that they need to make this idea a reality have to be already acquired at this point. So whatever they're researching is for the future upgrades of the system or the next
or
system.
The next one. That's what I'm saying. Their people could be done with it. They could be, they're like, okay,
I feel like
here's your stuff. It's ready for manufacturing, or they're wrapping up. So maybe that is what they're talking about. But who knows? Yeah, but you're right. At this point, it's a little weird to say. But again, like you said, you go back to what they've said before. No new 3DS. Then you wake up and there's a new 3DS. It's kind of hard to really know what you're going to get with them.
Companies lie all the time.
It's also a translation too. Keep that in mind. I mean, we're researching. Maybe it does mean we have researched. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, because I mean, people are putting
because you're not
Japanese
gonna say,
in Google Translate and.
Right, and you don't want to. You're not gonna. If you're being interviewed, you're not gonna say definitively. You're not gonna say the new system we come out with. It's having. We already know that it's got X, Y, and Z. Because then you're like, oh, okay, wow, this thing is dropping soon.
Yeah.
And they want to sell all those Switches because they've got their quota.
Yeah, they got to get rid of what they got right now. That's for sure. I don't know. There's so many different things. There's just so many different. There's just so many different variables in this entire thing. It is scary because I don't think they're going to drop the ball, but I am very interested to see how this ends up going, where they end up going with all this. If it is a Switch 2, if it's brand new branding, brand new, whole new marketing thing, whole new name, or if they're just like, yeah, Switch 2. New way to Switch, more power. I mean, I'd be happy with that, but
yeah,
I don't know how that's going to translate to the masses. That's my worry.
We won't know. And boys, you have anything else to add before we kind of move on a little bit here? That's
about all I got for that.
Well, we are at the end of the episode. However, we're gonna do something a little special here. Drip, you wanna hit that button? Come on.
Oh, are we doing it?
Oh, we're doing it.
Do you have the words?
Stuff. I got some stuff. We'll go with it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna play this week. We're going to play with Shibby 120. Thank you again one more time, Shibby, for playing.
We haven't even told him about this.
No, we haven't played. We're going to play a game this week, Shibby, and you and Drip. I am the host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is Shibby 120 and Drip Media Gaming, and we're going to play the game we stole from Jimmy Fallon game.
Okay.
The rules for this game is very simple. I have some movie quotes, and I have a few Nintendo quotes that I researched and found during the recording of this live episode, so they might be bad, but we'll see. I got some stuff to say, and
this is what I get for trolling you guys.
The way the game is going to work is I am going to say words with I'm going to say words to the stream and to you guys, but you two are going to have your headphones taken out of your ears, so you can't hear anything that I'm saying. The stream can hear it, but you guys should not be able to by taking out your earbuds, so literally nothing is coming through. You're going to have to decipher what word or phrase that I am saying, and the categories are movie quotes and Nintendo quotes. So that's what I found here. So we're going to kind of go with it and see what happens here.
Movie quotes and Nintendo quotes.
Yes. So
do we get to know if it's a movie quote or a Nintendo quote?
I can if you want.
Yeah, I would make. Yeah, I'd probably do that.
So we'll start with Drip.
It's gonna be bad.
We'll start with Drip, so Shibby can watch for the first round and get an idea how it works, just in case you want to see first. That's the benefit of our guest.
Yes.
Drip, hold on. I'll tell you when to take him out, Drip. I'll tell you when to take him out. But chat, you guys can play along in the chat if you're listening to this podcast after live stream. I'm sorry, you'll just have to to just not do the chat. But anyway, you guys in the chat, feel free to put your guesses and get in the chat and everything like that. Oh wait, you might know the chat knows. So you guys just got to enjoy. That's what this game is, the enjoyment for the chat. Anyway, I'm sorry. I ruined it. There we go. Thanks, Drip. So chat, enjoy, sit back and relax. Drip, feel free to take those headphones out.
Okay, let's test real quick to make sure I can't hear.
Yeah. So test 1, 2, 3. Drip, can you hear what I'm saying at all whatsoever? He's probably got to turn his audio down.
I can hear you.
Bit.
Hang on. I can turn the voice chat all the way down.
Yeah, so Drip will turn down the voice chat. Should be you might do the same thing.
You're gone.
But yeah,
I literally can't hear you. So put your hands up when you're gonna hold on.
Put them back in. I asked you to put them back in real fast. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to explain to Drip how he's gonna work. So how it's gonna work, Drip? I'm just gonna go like this. I'm pointing at you. That's when the word starts. Okay.
Okay. Just well, don't cover up your mouth. I got to be able to see your mouth.
No, yeah.
Because you said.
I'm gonna point when it's time for you to listen. Okay, take him back out. Okay. Drip has a hard time with this game sometimes. We played it a while ago. Shibby, we played it when I was at his house, and he was having a very hard time with the rules. I'm just like, dude, it's very simple. When I go like this, Sorry, I just did it. Sorry. Okay. All right. Sorry, I ruined it again. I just pointed at Drip.
I keep forgetting
sorry.
I can talk. You can hear me.
That's right. So Drip's got to keep talking. So Chat and Shibby, I'm going to start with a movie quote, okay? It's from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, okay? Here we go. Hasta la vista, baby.
Oh, I know. Hasta la vista, baby.
Hey! Drip, you got
Oh
it. I played the sound. It's okay.
Was that right?
You got it right, Drip. You got it right. That was a great first round for you, man.
I never get those. I'm terrible at this
Hasta
game.
la vista, baby. All right, so that's how it's gonna work. Shibby, do you want to try your hand at this game here?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like get close up on the screen to see your face, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so listen. In Discord, just click him and he'll get bigger. That's what I
Easy, too easy. Oh, and it still shows you. Okay, cool.
You can also deafen mute too. All right, we're gonna go with I gotta find you a good one here. Okay, here's a good one. We're gonna go with another movie quote, guys. Shibby, can you hear me at all?
I can now. Take it out.
Yeah, take it. Go ahead, take it out, and I'll point at you. All right, so Shibby,
Wait. Gotta mute my computer.
Shibby could hear me. Shibby could hear me, so he knows the category. It's a movie quote.
Oh my gosh.
It's from Top Gun 3, everybody. I'm gonna point at Shibby. Here we go.
Top Gun 3?
I feel the need for speed. Shibby's thinking about it.
That one's hard.
It is
That's
a
a
hard
long
one. But I feel like if you,
I think I would have got that one.
I feel like that's a good one. That's a good movie quote.
That is a good one.
I have no idea. Something.
I'm gonna do it again for one more time for Shibby.
Wait, am I taking the buds out?
Yeah. Take him out.
Yeah. Keep him out. Keep him out the whole time. You don't get to
okay.
hear.
How many am I doing?
You get 3 tries at it.
Oh, okay.
All right. I feel the need for speed. That's your second try.
No idea.
Shibby.
I'm really bad with movies. I'm thinking Skyrim, Dova King. I'm singing Dova King. Dova King,
Not
the
correct.
Wolf's Bane.
All right. We'll give you your third time, okay? Your third time here.
Bob. Is this it's a movie?
I feel the need for speed. He's thinking
It's
about
from
it.
Batman. It's from a Batman movie. Yeah, it is. Don't lie to me.
Shibby cannot hear us. What do you got, Shibby? You gotta go. Give us something. Give us something.
Huh?
There it is.
Put him back in.
I'm in.
Okay. That's hilarious. Okay, Shibby.
Chief said, give us something. You said, huh?
I said Batman.
No, but you gotta get the quote. You gotta try. So it's Top Gun. I feel the need for speed.
Ah,
That
okay.
was your movie.
That's a long one. That's a tough
is-
one.
that
That's
was
a
a
tough
tough
one. All right.
I mean, I think the more words, actually, it's kind of easier because, more, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I get
not-
lost. I start looking at the first word, and he keeps talking, and I'm just like, no.
Dude, you were a deer in the
Gone.
headlights with this game.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I got the first one.
I'm not a
Alright.
movie guy at all. Like, yeah.
Are we
All
ready?
right, go ahead, Drip. Take him out. I'll point at you. All right. Make sure to keep talking.
Hang on,
the
I'm
whole
gonna
time.
turn this down too.
Okay.
All right,
So
you're good.
I'm gonna find a Nintendo quote this time.
Wait.
All right. What's up, Drip?
Is it movie or
I'm not
Nintendo?
telling you. We're gonna let you squirm and suffer.
Oh, God.
So Drip doesn't know what it is. I like it that way. We'll tell you, Shibby. But let's find a good Nintendo one. Chat, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to put your suggestions in the chat. I will certainly use them if they're good. Because I don't have any great ones here. So feel free to start putting some good Nintendo ones in there. I got plenty of movie stuff, but if you got some good Nintendo quotes, throw them in the chat for us. I'm gonna throw Drip. I'm gonna toss him a cookie. Okay. This is a Zelda quote from the very first Zelda game, and you're gonna hear it just right now. Okay, I'm gonna point at Drip. All right. It's dangerous to go it alone. Take this. And Drip is
I don't know, it
silent.
sounded like you said something about tasting this. I'm like, oh, what? Excuse me? I don't know what you're talking about there. That sounds, Yeah, I'm close. That's dirty, dude. I don't like you talking to me like that. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's try it again. I don't know what that is, but it sounds very.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. I'm gonna raise my eyebrows at him.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Hey! Put him back in.
I
Drip,
know that's
drip.
right.
Got the answer correct. An old Nintendo quote.
Hang on, I gotta turn you back up. I can't hear
It's
you.
dangerous to go alone. Take this. I figure you had to get that one, Drip. I mean, I gave you a cookie.
You never know. You never know.
I gave you a cookie for that one. By the way, don't look at the chat. If they're putting anything in, I told them to put some stuff in the chat. So that goes for both of you. Don't look at the chat while you're playing your specific round.
Okay, I mean, it looks like we're.
It's kicks.
Oh, we're just dancing.
Nice.
Sorry.
Okay. So, Shibby, I got one for you. I kind of conjured this one up in my head. I'm not using one that I have on the screen. But I will say it's not a Nintendo quote. It's Nintendo related. That's your category, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Tell me when to take it out.
Take him out. Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Oh, wait. I don't know.
What do you got, Shibby? What do you got? He's thinking. He's looking at me like a deer
you
in
got
headlights.
this, man. You got this. You got it.
Want to go twice? I think Shibby wants to go twice here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Driving me mad.
My hoagie
Or
mouth might
you
be
have
a
a
hindrance
six-pack.
to this.
Or you are power mad.
I thank you, Shibby, for the compliment. My fat belly would say otherwise.
That's so scary. I don't know what he's saying. He could be saying anything right now.
I could be. We could be saying anything.
All right. Do you want to go for the third?
We'll go for the third one. All right, Shibby.
All right.
Reggie Fils-Aimé. He's smiling. He's nervous. He doesn't know it. He's got no clue.
He doesn't know.
You're crazy. You're driving me mad, is what he said.
Put him back in, Shibby. Put him back in.
I'm in.
The answer was Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Ah, what?
Man, I thought you were gonna get it. I thought you were gonna get it. Especially the third time when you looked, I was like, he's gonna get it.
Nah, I saw the cluelessness in your eye. That's the same look that Drip gives me when we play this game.
Hey, I'm doing okay today, though.
You are.
That's just the way I look, man.
Drip, guess
Yeah,
what? Drip, this next one you're never gonna get. That's your category. You're never getting this one. But we're all gonna laugh.
Wow.
So make sure to make this failure funny, okay? Give us your best shot here.
Are we ready?
We're ready. Last one, Drip.
Let me turn it down.
One. We'll get one more for Drip here, and then we'll get one more for you, Shibby. I like this that I don't have to be the one who gets embarrassed.
Yeah, you love torturing us, don't you?
Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. All right, here we go. This is a Twilight Princess quote, everybody. So he could be reading my lips right now and getting some clues. That's fine with me. But this is a Twilight Princess quote. We're going to go with it right here. A sword wields no strength unless the hand that holds it has the courage. Oh, he doesn't. He's got no.
I don't know. You said something about somebody being strong, and then you're going to hand it to me. Am I close? Because that's what I got. Somebody's strong, and you're handing something to me.
We'll go number two. Here. We'll go number two.
All right, go again. Yeah, you're good.
A sword wields no strength unless the hand that holds it has courage.
Strength is a word in there.
Ooh.
I saw that. That's
got
like
strength.
all I got from it.
He's got strength.
Oh man. Okay, can you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Is it a movie?
No, it's not a
Wait,
movie.
not a movie. Is it a game?
Those are the only two categories. Yeah,
Yes.
Drip.
Yes. Nintendo. I can't hear you. You got to give me thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yes, Nintendo. Those are the only two categories. Yes.
Strength.
Alex,
the hell? This is some
Alex, I was gonna do.
Keep going.
Alex, I was
Third
gonna
one.
do that one. Alex, that one I was gonna do. So I will do that for Shibby next time. All right. Number 3, Drip. A sword wields no strength unless the hand that holds it has courage. I gave him all the physical clues. I brought out every single physical clue.
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what I think this is. You're talking about something. It's a quote from a Zelda game, and you're talking about the Triforce, but I don't know the quote because you pointed to your hand. You said strength. I bet it's something that Ganondorf has said. Am I wrong about that? Who says it? Zelda?
That. No.
Is it from a Zelda game?
Yes.
I don't know. Hang on.
Oh, no.
Hang on.
Oh, no, Drip got it wrong.
All right, what is it?
A sword wields no strength unless the hand that holds it has courage.
No fucking
The
way I would have
Hero's
got
Shade,
that.
The Legend of Zelda
Wind Waker?
Twilight Princess.
That's
what they say. Dude, that's what they say
okay.
every time you meet the hero in Twilight Princess, and you get your new feature, your new ability.
Yeah,
he says
no
it like
way.
every time.
Because I'm skipping that. Like, let's go, man. Let's get to the thing. Let's do the thing. Let's fight. No, I'm
Listen,
not reading that.
I told you that. Well, I told the chat this was a cookie for you. Not a cookie, but this is at least your favorite game of all time.
Yeah,
we
come
got
on,
that.
man.
And I gave you
You're
all
also
the
talking
clues.
about.
I gave you.
You're also
strength.
talking about.
I gave you
text.
hand. I gave you courage. The Twilight of Kurt. That whole thing.
No,
I gave you a lot. I gave you.
You
a lot.
did not. That was way too hard. Text from a game.
Mega Boys. We only got one more for Shibby, so I'm going to make a decision between Mega Boys and Shibby's. Oh, Mega Boy, you and Alex had the same exact one. I was going to do that anyway. So perfect. We're all the same wavelength here. So Shibby, just go ahead and take them on out. We'll do. This is a Nintendo one, okay? For you, Shibby. I think you already took them out. I give Shibby the category. All right, we're going to give Shibby his final one. It's a me, Mario. In honor of Charles Martinet.
It's a me, Luigi.
Oh, no.
Wario.
He knows.
Oh, no.
I know
It's
he
me,
knows.
Wario.
Yes,
Yes,
nailed
that's
it.
I'm just kidding.
That's it. That was good. That was good, Shibby. Nah, I mean that was a cookie as well. But
Appreciate you.
The Alex and Megaboy both messaged me privately the same thing. I'm like, that was one I was gonna do that anyway.
That-
so
yeah.
like, we're all on the same page for that one.
Thank you for throwing me a bone, y'all. The community coming together there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, come on, I'm gonna make it easy for you. You're the
Charles.
guest. Drip's got to suffer.
Hey, I got 2 right.
I think Shibby got 2 or 3. What'd you get, Shibby? I don't even remember. I don't remember.
I got 1. Hey, y'all, did Geeb do the voice though?
Did I?
I don't remember now.
It's
Whoa.
a me, a Mario.
I don't think he did it. No, I
Oh,
don't think
no.
he did.
Oh, no.
It's a me, a Mario.
It's a me. I was trying to give you like the inflection that I can give with my hoagie mouth. So it's
Yeah.
a me, a Mario.
Anyway.
Anyway, Shibby, thanks for entertaining us and playing that game with us. That was
Thanks
that
for
was
playing. That was
wonderful.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
And once again, thank you for coming on the podcast. Once again, you guys can find Shibby's links down below in the
Thank you for having me, y'all.
description
Appreciate
of this podcast.
Are we still unboxing something, or we don't have time?
In the after show, if you're hanging around in the after
Oh, this
show.
isn't the after show. Okay.
No, this
No,
is
we're not even there yet. This
episode.
is real podcast, believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Podcast hours.
That's right. Well, anyway, let's end the real podcast here. But
That's how you know. That's I love it.
Those of you in the stream, we're hanging out. Shibby's going to do an unboxing for us because, Switch unboxing. But those of you guys in the chat, stick around. Those of you audio listeners, we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Peace out, y'all.